Hi guys, so you know I do a lot for you in the name of science, and I guess like to give you a bit of an insight into Australian drinking culture, especially those of you that watch from overseas. And one little known fact about Australia is that we love our what we call RTDs, so ready to drink. So these kind of cans of premix booze and soda. You can get lots of different versions, but definitely the whiskey and cola kind of ones are ones that we see a lot of. Fun fact, we are the third largest RTD market in the world, so not per capita. So if you think about the amount of people in Australia compared to the amount of people in a lot of other countries in the world, that's pretty wild. We drink 2.5% more bourbon per capita than the US. So per person that drinks bourbon, we are drinking more of it than the States. And then of that, about 70% actually comes in this form. So canned, ready to drink, bourbon and cokes and so on. So 23rd Street Distillery have come out with a new whiskey. I have tried that, the whiskey by itself, which is really delicious, really good quality product. And I guess they're trying to do a bit more of like an upmarket sort of RTD there. So using, really nice whiskey and really nice cola. So I thought I would try that alongside some of our, I guess, bigger known brands, sort of market leaders here. I went into the little supermarket right next door to me here in Northcote, and I asked them what their biggest seller of the whiskey and coke type thing is, and they said this little Jack Daniels. Now it is 10% in this little can. So I'm slightly scared, but we're gonna see how we go with that. And then this one is actually a wild turkey. It says rare on there. They do have a wild turkey rare breed, so I'm assuming the kind of connotation is that that's what's in this bottle. We drank quite a lot of these ones when we were actually building the bar that I'm in just now, Goodwater. We did a lot of it by our own hands, and so deserved a knockoff at the end of the day. And a little wild turkey tended to hit the spot. And then I'm gonna try those alongside the cans that 23rd Street have sent me here. So as I said, all in the name of science. So, do a little Jack Daniels here. I think one of the reasons that RTDs are so popular in Australia is there's just such an outdoorsy kind of culture here. A lot of festivals, a lot of people hanging out in the park, going camping and stuff like that. So they're just kind of a bit more easily transportable than buying a whole bottle of booze and mixing it yourself. There's also definitely a different flavor that you get from the ones in a can compared to, if I just took some Jack Daniels and mixed it with some Coca-Cola. And sometimes it's just that je ne sais quoi that you're looking for. All right, so I'm gonna go in with the wild turkey first, I think, because it's a little bit less lethal, still 8%. Good cola nose, you can definitely smell a lot of whiskey in there. It's not actually as intense as I thought it was gonna be on the palate. It definitely is a bit more on the cola side of things. It smelled more boozy than it kind of tastes. Then we're gonna get into our Jack Daniels. Whoa. It's a big boy. Definitely a bit more intense on the palate, like really big and rich, like it almost feels like it's thicker as well. I don't know if that's just in my own head or not, but both nice cola flavor and not too sweet as well. Like the whiskey actually kind of balances and dries it out through the finish, which is nice. Then make sure I'm doing this the right way around. So this 23rd Street is 5%, and using their Australian whiskey. And then this one is a little bit boozier at the 8% mark. So we'll start off with the 5%. It's interesting, it definitely smells way more like actual like single malt whiskey, which makes sense because they're that's what they're using. But yeah, that's very much the nose that you get, that nice kind of like grainy, quite juicy whiskey character. Definitely more whiskey presence in that one, I would say, than the other two, which are still pretty kind of soda heavy. but nothing too full on, in a nice way that's really easily drinkable and digestible. And then onto the big boy. Smells pretty similar. Yum, I actually reckon that one might be my favorite. It's just got a really good balance. Again, actually like a lot of, you know, proper whiskey that you can taste, which as I said, I've already tried by itself and is delicious. So I'm happy to taste plenty of that. A little bit of sweetness from the cola, but definitely not too full on. I think in general, the cola that they're using is just a little bit pared back in sweetness compared to the two on the left here, or your right, my left. But yeah, what a flavor sensation that we've just gone through. I'd love to hear if you guys see a lot of RTDs where you live as well, if it's something that you're into, if you understand kind of why people like the ease of just cracking a can and getting into it, or if you're a Puritan and you always like to make it yourself. So yeah, let me know. RTDs. So now you know.